acres and acres of land. Approximately 1.6 million acres are believed to be unclaimed heirs property. But there are government programs that can help heirs preserve their family's land. Joining us with some very important information is Rajon, Woodland Community Advocate Liaison at the Center for Heirs Property Preservation. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I'm just astounded at the amount of land is kind of hanging in limbo here.
Yes.
But can we first define what heirs property is for anybody who's watching that doesn't quite understand the concept?
So it's a kind of tricky concept. If you think about heirs property, what it is, just to boil it down into a very big thing into a very small thing. You have a family that owns land, and when someone passes away that actually owns the title to the land, who purchased the land, they don't have estate planning, so they don't via will or by other means pass the land down to the next generation. So there's no clear title. So what ends up happening is that everyone who's a descendant of that person who passed away now owns the land equally. It's like owning a pizza, but everybody owning all of the pizza and not being able to pull out a slice. And that issue bleeds into a lot of issues that especially have affected African Americans in our country since Reconstruction.
Right. And when you talk about dying without a will, so the legal term being intestate.
Yes.
So if you hear the term intestate, it means you've died without a will. That's got to be incredibly confusing, and just knowing how large families can get, that must make it, to me, almost impossible to figure out how to
especially once you go from generation to generation to generation. If you go, three generations, and a lot of the consensus in a lot of these families is that they passed it down to me, so it's mine, or I pay the taxes on it, so it belongs to me. And the truth is, no, it actually belongs to everybody who's a descendant of that original person who had the clear title.
Are there also cases where there are people who've maybe since left the area that do have rights to that title,
that's
and then
absolutely
you have
the
to
case.
go hunting them down?
That's absolutely the case. So that's one thing that the center specializes in, is helping families to not only identify that family tree where people can come back, that family tree, so they can identify the people who are shareholders in that land, but also help them to mediate the situation so that they can get that clear title and be able to actually make money for the family through those lands.
And even as impossible as it sounds, you've been very successful in getting these titles cleared.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
So since 2005, the Center for Heirs Property Preservation, that's really been what we do, as we find the family, we create the family tree, we help them identify the family members, and then we help them to mediate. So I know that we've had, I don't want to give an exact number because I don't want to misquote, but we've had a wide array of success with that work. What I will say is that one thing that we also say as an organization is that we like to do with families, we prefer to do with families who already have an agreement within the family, because if not, it really makes it difficult for us to be able to do the things that they need us to do. So
have you seen a lot of infighting?
You do. You do see that. More so our legal family people, mainly because I'm outreach. I work in bringing people to the center, but our legal department, which is staffed with attorneys, as well as our COO, who started off as a staff attorney with us. They've seen a tremendous amount of discontent, if you will.
Right.
But they found a way. Our CEO is actually a trained certified mediator, so he has a special skill with dealing with it, but we can't help everyone. But anyone that we can help, we do.
Yes, I think that's terrific. And you do have a couple of government programs that can help people. Can you just tell us?
Yes. So our organization is largely funded by a multitude of both federal and statewide organizations, governmentally, as well as private donors as well. But USDA, the Department of Agriculture.
That's right, because farms.
Yes. So that's one of our major funders. NRCS, so the Natural Resource Conservation Service organization, and they have a program called EQUIP. All of those are government programs that actually fund the work that we do to help the families who do have these needs in terms of getting their lands taken care of.
And if anybody's watching this, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but if anybody is watching this and they want to learn more information, they think maybe there's some land that they have a right to the title, you also have some events coming up.
Yes. So
let's make sure we mention those.
No problem. So on October 15th and 16th, we have our annual Landowner Landowner Symposium. This is actually an event that we actually have made sort of into a national event now, where people actually come from all around to find out about the issue of heirs property and ways that they can not only get access to the resources that are available to them through these governmental programs, but also establish and build generational wealth on their family lands. Once they have that clear title, they have opportunities through forestry and agricultural services that will allow them to make money from that land, so they won't sell grandma's land, as they like to say.
Right, excellent. Sell grandma's land. We don't want to sell grandma's
Don't
land.
sell grandma's land.
No, it's grandma's land. All right. I want to thank you so much, Rajon, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And for people who are curious, they want more information, where should they go?
If you want more information about our organization, all you need to go to www.ayersproperty.org or call 843-745-7055.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're back in 2 minutes.